Good evening, fellow Ambazonians. Good evening, friends of Ambazonians. Hello, comrades and parents. I am your spokesman, your brother and friend, Lucas ASU of the Ambazonian Governing Council. We are living at very interesting times. We are living at the most hopeful times for the Ambazonian people. We are also living at the most desperate times for the state of Cameroon and Mr. Biya. These are very interesting times to watch. Those who thought they had power, those who thought they were gods, those who thought that they controlled the oxygen that we all breathe. Today are nowhere to be found. Those who thought when they sneeze, life ends. Today they have discovered that they are as powerless, that they are victims of their own creation. Over the last 6 years, the Ambazonian people have embarked on a beautiful journey. And during these times, we have seen of Cameroon it doesn't know how to get an intelligent people. They are taken by surprise. They are confused. You don't know what to do, where to start, or where to go. For over 62 years, Cameroon has lived on a lie that Ambazonia and Cameroon are one and indivisible. Created, rewrite the history and sold it to the international community and the international system, and has banked on that lie and that propaganda to sustain a false legitimacy in Ambazonia. Until the new generation showed up. A more sophisticated, a more aware, people. Very intelligent, very objective. A new generation with pride, with values, with principles. A new generation with character. In the past, Cameroon thought bribery is the only weapon they can use to stop, to disrupt, and to destroy any resistance from Ambazonia. They tried that in the past and it worked. In most occasions, but not all. The majority bought and accepted corruption and bribery, and they gave up, and they crossed, and they were reintegrated into Cameroon, and they became the new voices, the new agents, new enablers to speak on behalf of Cameroon. The same thing was about to happen in 2016. Cameroon banked that they will use corruption and intimidation, and this generation will give up. They succeeded to a certain extent. Agbobala was bought. Fontainebleau was bought. Many others were bought. Pa Tassan Wilfred refused, and he escaped and moved the momentum of the resistance to safer grounds. When Cameroon infiltrated SCACOOF, the collaborative platform, and started signs of infighting and thought they would succeed, and sends its agents to give destructive advice to factions within SCACOOF. By asking them to create a government, hijack the SCACOOF process, declare yourself a government, and then destroy everyone else. In that way, we can talk to you on the force of argument. We don't want the nationalists to succeed because their voices are too loud, too strong, and very contagious. And they thought they will succeed with using those that they have created as moderates to have a discussion with Cameroon and then reintegrate them within the reform state. Until Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba warned the Ambazonian people that the mistakes of the past will never be repeated. The force of argument is a failed theory that is not consistent with how a brutal occupier operates. We must change how we deal and respond to the occupier. Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba invoked the right of self-defense of the Ambazonian people and launched the armed resistance. That was the moment when Cameroon knew it had lost the ability to influence the struggle. The rise of a nationalist, the rise of a new voice, the rise of a new energy, the rise of a new thinking system. In order to beat the occupier, Dr. Cho introduced the Ambazonian people to a new thinking system based on science and empirical knowledge. Based on sound research, tested and proven strategies. We are where we are today. It was because of those tough decisions, well thought out actions. 6 years later, we have collectively prevailed over Cameroon. All Cameroon propaganda theories have collapsed. At first, they said there was no problem. They said, oh, it's just a handful of thugs, so there's no problem. Then they acknowledge there's a problem. And the way to deal with that problem is to create the Commission of Disarmament. Self-deception. What happened to Commission of Disarmament? Where is Commission of Disarmament today? Then they say, oh, that is not working. It's Commission of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism. It's a language problem. It's a misunderstanding between the two systems. So they have to integrate the cultures. So they said, hey, let's give a couple of billions to our old crook, Musonge, and give him a commission. Where is Multiculturalism and Bilingualism Commission today? Where is it? Have you heard anything about it? Is it a language problem? Self-deception. Cameroon is always deflecting, always proposing cosmetic solutions to avoid the truth of the real problem. 1 year later, after the Musonge Commission, they say, it's the Grand National Dialogue. What happened to the Grand National Dialogue? From one form of propaganda to the next. Self-deception to avoid confronting the truth. All of Cameroon's self-deceptive, manipulative tendencies are meant to achieve one aim: avoid confronting the reality that Ambazonia is not part of Cameroon, and Cameroon presence in Ambazonia is illegal. It's an act of occupation. That is what Cameroon is afraid to confront. That is what Cameroon is afraid to acknowledge. You can't solve a problem until you acknowledge the existence of a problem. You cannot solve a problem until you acknowledge the existence of that problem. If, as Cameroon has deceived itself in the past, telling the world it's, what is it called? The Disarmament Commission will solve the problem? Self-deception. Did Disarmament Commission solve the problem? A poor diagnosis of the problem would lead to poor solution. It's a language problem. Did the Musonge bilingualism and multiculturalism solve the problem? Self-deception, self-manipulation. It's Grand National Dialogue. What was on the table at the Grand National Dialogue? They evaded core issues. It was a monologue. CPDM Central Committee members and their corrupt friends, they sat down to drink and practice prostitution. To drink and sexually entertain themselves. And they go home and say, we have solved the problem. We've given them special status. You, the occupier, given the Ambazonian people special status by yourself, from yourself, decided by you, imposed on them. Grand National Dialogue became the mantra. 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, It's now 2023. Where is Grand National Dialogue? And where is the conflict today? Has Grand National Dialogue solved the problem? Cameroon's self-deception. 4 years after the Grand National Dialogue, there is a new propaganda theory called peace has returned, and that there is now normalcy in Ambazonia. So we've moved from the Disarmament Commission, the Musonge Bilingualism and Multiculturalism Commission, Grand National Dialogue, and we are now in what? The fourth propaganda theory. Oh, peace and normalcy has returned to Ambazonia. Let's take a look. Let's play the first video that came from Tatum in the state of Bui. And let's ask Cameroon if this is what peace and a return to normalcy looks like. Let's play the first video.
Fire! Sur le feu! Bad! Ils vont Lillard! Tirez les gars! Les gars viennent nous mettre le drapeau. Ils sont malades dans la tête.
All right. You've seen for yourself. That is in the state of Bui, in the Ambazonian territory. Does that look like peace to you? Does that look like a return to normalcy to you? Or it looks like a territory under intense military occupation and there is a raging war going on? The second question we need to ask ourselves is, what normalcy is Ambazonia returning to that Cameroon is referring to? What normalcy is Ambazonia returning to that Cameroon is referring to? There has never been peace since Cameroon's occupation of Ambazonia. So there is nothing that is normal that Cameroons want to return to. Self-deception. What about the second video? Let these things speak for themselves. Play the second video.
Manu, no me. A ver aquí. Manu.
Are you together?
We are one.
Yes, your I love Mayo. Are we together? ASU, are we together? We are one. I love Mayo. Are we together?
We are one. We are together. We are one.
I love Mayo. Are we together?
We are one. We are one. And we are ready. That is the plan of, not the plan of law.
Okay. You've seen for yourself. You be the judge. If peace has returned, as Cameroon propagates, if things have returned to normalcy, why is it that they are parliamentarians, they are colonial parliamentarians, they are colonial senators are still living in Yaoundé? Why is it that they have to ferry these people and transport them in APCs? Why is it that they have invested billions of CFA? Why is it that they have diverted funds meant for education, meant for social welfare, meant for the construction of hospitals? Why is it that they have diverted those funds to build an army, to reconstruct trucks and transporting their colonial enablers through those APCs and reconfigure trucks? Does that look like peace to you? Does that look like normalcy to you? What is normal in that situation? What is normal? That Cameroon is claiming things have returned to normal. What is normal? What is not normal is these colonial elites can no longer live in Ambazonia. What is not normal? Oh, okay. What is not normal? The colonial elites can no longer live in Ambazonia. They can only come in Ambazonia for photo ops and video propaganda. Protected, transported by the military for a few hours in unannounced missions. So where is the normalcy? Where is the normalcy? Where is the peace? The only people that are deceiving themselves are Cameroonians. The only person deceiving himself is Pobia, is Diongute, is Betty Asombo or Asomo. It's the Cameroon government that is deceiving itself because they are afraid to confront the truth. They are afraid to accept that their presence in Ambazonia is illegal. It's an act of occupation. That's what Cameroon is afraid to confront. But that is what Cameroon is facing with this generation. What does this mean? For Cameroon to survive as a state, they have to choose to lose Cameroon and lose Ambazonia, or to save Cameroon from itself. That's the choice Cameroon has. No nation has ever won a war against a people. The Russian tried and failed. The United States defeated the mighty British Empire and proclaimed their independence. The United States failed in Vietnam. They have failed in Afghanistan, failed in Iraq, failed in Libya. They have also failed in Syria. Not to talk of a primitive and cave mentality people like Cameroon. How can they fight and defeat a more sophisticated and intelligent generation like the Ambazonian people? Today, there are 3 factions within the Biya government fighting themselves. Because of Ambazonian defeat of Cameroon. And now Cameroon survives only on propaganda. Cameroon can save itself by packing out of Ambazonia. Or we will defeat them in every block in Ambazonia and destroy the Cameroon economy in the process and disintegrate Cameroon, because it's coming. The signs are there. Those in the north are threatening to cut off. Those in the west, the Bamilikes, are threatening to cut off. The Bassa and the Bulus don't know what to do to hold things together. Cameroon is trapped. Biya doesn't have a voice anymore. He has a very limited time. There can be a political solution to save Cameroon from self-destruction. As for Ambazonia, there's no return to anything. It's one thing and one thing only that we as a people have resolved: to regain our dignity, our freedom, and our sovereignty. That's what we want, and that's what we will get. Fellow Ambazonians, Cameroon, since this generation arise, it only live for propaganda. for dodge the problem. You know if you solve a problem until you identify the problem. Cameroon they try for dodge this problem. So they tell the world now a different problem so that they go put in a wrong solution. We no go ever solve the problem because they try for dodge the real problem. What will be the real problem? The real problem, I say, Cameroon, a presence for Ambazonia, it be illegal. Cameroon, for Ambazonia, as an occupying state. They know that. Now the thing where Cameroon, they try for dodge them. So they tell the world, say, Cameroon, it be one and indivisible. Ambazonia never ever be part of Cameroon. The 1961 arrangement, it not be make Ambazonia become part of Cameroon. There is no way for the arrangement we make Ambazonia become part of Cameroon. No book, no legislation with the Ambazonian people. They put them and they sign them with Cameroon for make the two countries, they may be one. The federation with the world be talking, make the two countries, they come together, they form them. It be supposed to be in a relationship between two states for mutual coexistence and working together. That arrangement, when no man will not be there for any book, where people they sign them and Cameroon sign them. It end for 1972. It be only last for 11 years. And they dismantle them. The moment that one come to an end, Cameroon, it move now for occupy Ambazonia. So since then, now the matter this. All their drama they don't make them from the 1972 referendum where they conduct them, it be all now for continue for twist this story and continue for lie to the world. All na part of the manipulation. This generation don't wake up for correct those wrongs of the past and for give the Ambazonian people them their dignity and the power where they don't steal them from them back. From 2016, when this generation rise, we will fall for the same trap. This trap, we will go wake up, we say we want independence, but we will go do the same things and what they know will give independence. So the teachers and the lawyers, they say, may they fix, make Cameroon give more rights. For schools, may they open for under Ambazonia control. Make the law a change for under Ambazonia control. Cameroon showed them a finger. It's a lie to lie. Now we get una, now we must control which una get them and which be good for una. They bribe all the other one them because now the only way that we Cameroon be know how for do them. They bribe all the other one them. Agbobala, he take your own bribe. Fontem Neba, he take your own bribe. By the time they want come out for that prison where Cameroon they don't settle the arrangement with Cameroon for say they no ever talk about independence. They leave it for the country. They move Fontem for outside here. For continue for the manipulation of the Ambazonian people them outside here. And for add for the confusion. Wait till today. It is still go on. For use them for kill the resistance. Just like how they kill the resistance in the past. Dr. Abatok said this one will ever happen. The Skakuf, where Ambazonia don't come together, La Republic immediately enter inside, they start for twist their head. The first time Ambazonia they come together as Tasang, Iran, it come for diaspora, for Nigeria. Ambazonia they come together, they create Skakuf for work together. Cameroon enter inside. They start for Scataram. He take the other one them. He say, because for inside una, the nationalists, the people they want now only independence. The day inside here, if we not continue them, their voice, their logic, their own idea, they be so strong, they be so powerful, they go overtake una own idea. Where una the talk say they say una be moderate and una feel find way for talk for Cameroon for reconcile. So they tell and say the only way for una for kill the moderate and una push them for corner Now make una go declare on yourself a government. Cameroon give them bad advice. People they carry on for their head. They go create this government. Just for change, for continuously change the matter. Dr. Abba said, "Chai, we can't go back for this thing again." He said, "No. We must check sense and fight Cameroon differently. For make the international community take we serious. The sound for AK must holler. We must invoke our right for self-defense, for defend our country, in order to get the attention of the international community. Since 1961, we never ever do anything we getting the attention of the international community. This thing we only talk now for mob. So one independence. We don't declare independence. We don't declare independence. We don't declare independence. Pa Goji Dinka declare them. Wait till happen. They come for the 1991. They declare them. Now wait till happen. How we can declare this thing only for mob? For all the people in the world don't take them serious. From the United States, the moment they declare their independence for fight the British, they pick na gun, they fight them until they win their independence. All other countries, including Canada, all them, when they want their independence, they pick na gun for fight. Why it be say the Ambazonian people their own? They could use na Cameroon in own sense. And when I declare independence, and then when I wait me the worker, tell when I say okay, we'll give now. Now which world it go come move an occupying state? We don't build all the infrastructure for administration, for civil service, and for military. Now who go come move them? It don't ever happen at full side. It don't ever happen anywhere. Dr. Bassey will not go down this road. We must do something where the world would know say we'll be serious or what you want them. So he invoke our people their right for self-defense. Now for them now Cameroon can lose sense. Cameroon know now say the nationalist Dr. Abacho with the Beneza Akwanga, their idea for self-defense, it go catch fire on the ground with all Ambazonians. It makes so much sense. When are really common sense, and all Ambazonians, they go buy them, they go believe them. Because nothing way it go give the people them power back. The game change. Dr. Cho declaration of for invoke the Ambazonian people their right for self-defense. Now he changed the trajectory of the Ambazonian liberation struggle. Now he changed and move free for place where they from that place will be there for 2016 to place where they today. If they not be invoke self-defense and make ground zero ungovernable to Cameroon, the world not forever take we serious and not forever hear this story. Because by invoking our people their right for self-defense, it not only gain the attention of the international community, but it make them, because every time we gone the holler, the international community now want to investigate. Why gone the holler for a place? Which is that people that they fight them? But if people they just go for street, they will just say, okay, Cameroon, I bet when I look at that people that they protest for and when I address that problem, then Cameroon go talk an issue. Oh, may they fix, may they recruit more bilingual teachers. Oh, may they do this, may they do this. When that gone the staff for holler, it threaten international peace and security, and therefore the world get an obligation now for say make we see how we fit talk and bring and find out a solution to this problem. The world now go talk say we must address the root cause for solve this problem permanently. So they will see if Cameroon, if he address the root causes. When they realize and say the occupying state, it be unwilling for address the root causes and solve the problem, afraid the international community will step in. Refugees that they cross, so it becomes an international issue. It becomes an international peace and security issue. For solve the problem, they must address the cause of the conflict. 6 years later, now which kind of things the way Cameroon don't do them? For Cameroon for continuously for dodge this problem and for no one address the root causes, Cameroon it go do na propaganda. At first, they tell when I say the problem need to exist. Secondly, they say, the problem now only some few people they get gone. So we'll go create disarmament commission for disarm them And then once we don't disarm them back, we will reintegrate them back into the communities. So they create the Disarmament Commission, led by Faye Yengo Francis. When they realize and say that one don't fail, the gun that they increase, the gun that they increase, the gun that they increase, Cameroon knows that propaganda no go hold water. It moved to witty. They say, that matters so the language problem. The people them for the francophones and the anglophone, they need to understand each other. So make we create bilingualism and multiculturalism together, and they call us living together. Okay, very interesting. Living together now go solve palaver for gun. The triumph. Who's at this armament end? Today, no money here about bilingualism and multiculturalism. No money here about the Musonge Commission. The billions of dollars they take and put them for their CPDM bribery scheme. Who said it today? They say, okay, we'll go recruit 1,000 bilingual teachers and it will solve the problem. Cameroon always try to dodge the problem because of the fear for confront the truth. See, Ambazonian not be part of Cameroon. Okay. The Musonge Commission fail. They come out. They say, hey, we will create Grand National Dialogue. Who saw EN? When that one too don't fail, we all wait till they don't talk to they give Ambazonian special status. We don't educate all una for year. When all that one they don't fail. Now Cameroon don't move to a new propaganda. Cameroon now they tell the world say, all thing, peace don't come back for Ambazonian. All thing don't return, don't come back to normal. So the question would ask them, if all thing don't come back to normal and peace don't come, make una watch this video for Tatum and una ask ourselves, if peace don't come, why the gun and fighting still plenty? So una watch this video and then we will talk. Today, the palaver plenty, the discussion plenty. After this talk, una know say we will do question and answer as we promise una. Una watch this video.
Fire! Sur le feu! Bad. Bad. Ils vont Lillard. Tirez les gars. Les gars viennent nous mettre le drapeau. Ils sont malades dans la tête.
Okay. So, una don't carry una eye, una see am. No me I can't tell una something. No be na some other person can't tell una. Cameroon Bulu occupy forces. Now what did they do for the streets of Ambazonia? Now why did they shoot gun for air where the population don't abandon and reject them? If peace don't come, what do you see and look like peace? Or it look like a region, a territory where it is under severe war? Why Cameroon did lie to itself so way? Why Paul did lie to itself so, to himself so way? Now, why Dion Gute they lie to themselves so? Why Betty Asombo they lie for himself so? The only people that they lie to themselves, Napobia, Dion Gute, Betty Asombo, and the Cameroon states, that they call and say self-deception. They feel only lie to themselves. The reality be very different from Cameroon propaganda. Una di carry una own ICM. Una watch this second video. Una watch this second video. Una watch this.
Manu, ma, no be. Sabe aqui. Ué, Manu.
Are you together? We are one.
Okay, may we ask the question. Who ask the question? Who ask the question? All when I get eye, when I get ear. If peace don't come back, the war don't come to as Cameroon talks to the war don't end, peace don't come and things don't return to normal. Before 2016, these colonial agents, these colonial enablers, they be the worker now with their own 4x4 them. Maybe one or two gendarmes. You go see only that black 4x4 them. If peace don't come and things don't return to normal, why be say these people them need to stay for inside Ambazonian again? Why be say the colonial senators, the colonial parliamentarians, and most of the colonial mayors, and the colonial DOs and SDO, why be say they need to stay for inside Ambazonian again? Why be say if they want to carry them from La République, they go hide them. They not go announce when they come for the territory of Ambazonia, and they carry them now for this ammo car them, where they don't go borrow plenty money, put them inside. They only bring them and take La République du Cameroon their 4x4 military truck, where they don't jam and with plenty iron. Put them for front, and then they put these colonial SDO them. Why be say that they carry the nana for ammo car? If things they don't come back for normal, and peace don't come, why Cameroon it carry the colonial administrators them na famoka? Why be saying a bees that they carry these people them walk around? And the question that we always get for ask them. Una see, wait till una see them. Now things they don't come back for normal. Or na Cameroon, it lie to themselves. Cameroon is propaganda versus the reality. Cameroon their propaganda, now one thing. The reality now which you see for on front. The only reason we see all this propaganda is because Cameroon no one accept. So the strategy with Dr. Cho put on for ground for make the territory ungovernable, for make delegitimize Cameroon, stop economic exploitation, increase the cost of the occupation, and cause Cameroon for become economically bankrupt, and for internationalize our struggle for moving from the hands of Cameroon, say now he go judge the case and prescribe and give a solution and put them to the hands of the international community. As we don't defeat Cameroon on the ground, delegitimize them, make the territory ungovernable, delegitimize them, stop economic exploitation to a greater extent, cause economic crisis and financial crisis for Cameroon, make Cameroon government now cause infighting and chaos for Cameroon. Now we don't succeed. The strategy don't succeed for move the matter from Cameroon in hand, when Cameroon be supposed to solve the problem and give a solution and put them for the hand of the international community. And for that one, as we know, between October, November, and December, as we don't talk them for a year, many times, including Weti, it don't come out from outside from the international community, from the government of, from the federal government of Canada, through their foreign minister of foreign affairs. As we don't hear, the pre-talks they take place, now Cameroon come back, say they want to talk to Ambazonian. The United Nations be there, we don't talk all these things for now. We don't achieve a level of success when no other generation don't ever achieve them because of the strategy. It don't form the foundation of waiting any negotiation to take place, because the basis of any negotiation, it will be based now on the foundation of that negotiation when the pre-talks establish them. And through that, Cameroon recognize, number one, Cameroon be finally, for the first time in the history of the Ambazonian people them, in 62 years, Cameroon finally, a generation defeat Cameroon and challenge Cameroon and bring them to the international table as equals. Cameroon should on one side, Ambazonia should on one side. And Cameroon signed for the international, in front of the United Nations and international actors. See, they be committed to a negotiation. Paul Biya sign. Number two, Cameroon recognized the right of self-defense, of self-determination of the Ambazonian people then. And see, Ambazonia not be part of Cameroon, because the description of our identity, Cameroon for the first time, he accept our identity, say will be the people of former United Nations Trust Territory of British Southern Cameroons. That's it. You don't need anything else. That's all we want to achieve. Recognize our identity, because it establish what the negotiation will be about. Now they don't recognize you as people of the Northwest and Southwest. We for make and say an internal conflict. Because by Cameroon recognizing our identity and accepting us as people of former United Nations Territory of British Southern Cameroon, it means that we not be people of Cameroon, and Ambazonia is not a geographic location of Cameroon. And therefore, the case where they go judge them, it could be in a case where it should say Cameroon occupied that territory. And fellow Ambazonians, regardless of the noise out there, now me and my brother Lucas ASU, and the teams of other Ambazonians from other movements, now we negotiate that deal. The piece of that deal, now we be sitting for that table. We negotiate them. For the second round of pre-talks will take place for Mont-Tremblant for Quebec. Make una not live and make any person twist on her head. We will not be there. The thing we don't achieve them, it never ever be achieved. The foundation of any negotiation, whether the talks they continue or they not continue, the way to don't achieve them, no person no go ever take them again for we. And anytime we the one negotiate this case, now that book, that document, it will be the frame of reference for any negotiation. And for that one, we therefore be very grateful for a leadership we be get a vision and a create a strategy for move we for reach for that place. Any man we to his tweets he head and to his tweets on the head, you need to do any good. You know, be for una interest. Una best interest, na say una don't achieve a recognition of self-determination and a recognition of an identity as a people of Ambazonia. And we and Cameroon, we don't give Canada the mandate for negotiate. So what's the problem there now? The problem about the negotiation not being an Ambazonian problem. We don't achieve what you want for the pre-talks. The problem na Cameroon, their problem. Because Cameroon recognize our right for self-determination, the other parties them within the BIA government, they not like them. Because the tell Pobia say he don't fail. Why he go accept for recognize we as Ambazonians? So now, according to them, they lost the war. So they now make Pobia continue with the negotiations. And beyond no one infighting, the infighting within the government, make it come off outside, like with the Ambazonian, they do it for themselves. Some few Ambazonians, they just come out there, run their mouth anyhow, forgive a perception of infighting. Beyond the fear that one. So it tell the world, say, beg, when I leave me, make a talk for the people them, so that as they can't do this thing, they know we go outside, go begin to talk one thing, why me they try to do another thing. Then this negotiation, now the only way we Pobia want try to get a legacy. So it be to the best interest of Pobia for secure and negotiated settlement in order for secure Cameroon. Because if you not secure them, they not do a transition. So they did for a very tight corner. Number two, Pobia don't be very old. The Ambazonian people, they be very young. So it got a limited time for leave. Or for being even capable. So it in a rush. All we, 75% of the Ambazonian population, is under the age of 50. I mean, 80% of the Ambazonian population is under the age of 50. We get time. Cameroon not get time. So now we're supposed to be in a rush. Now we're supposed to be beg woo. Cameroon, they under immense pressure. I will leave them for here. I want to acknowledge, so over the last few days, a lot of talks they out here for putting for confusion. We don't see them many, many times. We don't see them many times. Every time the Ambazonian people start to make progress. Every time Ambazonian people, they start to get green light. Amongst us, that's how the enemy, they always walk. They need to go bring that person from outside. They go always use now the weak one them among us. They go always use now the longer throat one them amongst us. They go always use now the one them amongst us. Where it get for being about them. Their language na me, 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 me. Once Cameroon know your tendency, they go always exploit them. You want to be driven by public fame, you want to be driven by public acknowledgement, they go exploit them. We see them for Eric Tato. Same tendency, Cameroon exploit them to the max. We see them for Chris Ano. Cameroon exploit them to the max. We see them for Sako. Cameroon exploit them to the max. So it not be new. Every time green light start for show, see Ambazonia they can emerge. There is always an injection for redirect the people their energy so that they not concentrate and finish the work. We not be a smart generation. We not know when people they are talk, they start for change. Regardless of who that person used to be for you. Once they talk start for change, their intentions, they don't change. Make you listen for a message where you don't come out from the Supreme Commander of the Ambazonian Defense Forces. A message with the Supreme Commander, he want to address the Ambazonian people today. Because as we don't talk, we don't reach to a place where now not time for give power back to the Ambazonian people. We don't reach to a place where not time for start for rebuild the nation. In order for we, for say as talk that they come on, we must get in them for ground where the show say we'll be ready for take back the land. Make we listen from the Supreme Commander of the forces that they command the ground. Make we listen to the Supreme Commander of Ambazonian Defense Forces, General Efang from ADF Central Command on the ground.
The Ambazonian, special loyalty, praises to our Savior who granted us the freedom, and legends to the hero who brought the land together. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.
Fellow Ambalanders, this one is the Supreme Commander of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, General Efang. My mommy them, my papa them, all commanders for Ground Zero. I thank you now for all the sacrifices and also all the effort we want to make up for Ambazonia. I salute our brothers them who don't live inside the Arabic dungeon for a very long time as prisoners. I send my message of condolence to all families them. We don't lose our loved ones them because of La Republic barbaric activities inside our country. The only thing we will give these families is a free Ambazonian. We not go give up. We go continue to fight for defend our land and for make our people don't die. And they know the cause where they will die for the fighting for. We don't achieve them. I want to remind our people, say Mondays still remain ghost town. More respect them. Now they will all be keep on my side for remember people who don't die from Ambazonia. Now this very day, we all need to remind ourselves, so they are at war for survival. My fellow Ambazonians, if independence really means independent, they will need to create our own things here. We need to be our own institution. We need to depend on the organization or institution where our enemy they belong for being a free people. We don't reject La République educational system, but not be enough for reject only this educational system. That is why we don't work hard for create community schools for many areas for inside Ambazonian. And we need to expand these schools. At one time the teachers them, we don't sacrifice for this difficult time to make sure say make our picking them, make them learn. Education now foundation for development for every country. Now why that we need to give our picking them better education, we need that for develop Ambazonian. We need to create our own hospital then, pharmacies then, for take care the health care for our population. The enemy don't destroy all our hospitals then, make our people for die, for sickness then, where hospitals then, not there for cure. Fellow Ambazonians, all people don't fight the liberation war then, don't sacrifice. Some sacrifice their life. Some sacrifice their freedom, they go to prison. Some stay for bush for 10 to 20 years. Some mobilize resources to make sure, say, freedom, if he come. All man get role to play. We don't there for inside bush for the past 7 years. We defend ourselves from killing and raping of our own by La République du Cameroon and the French junta. This one don't woke up the sleeping beast. It don't woke up the giants. It don't put the weapon for war for the hands of we the young and the one who they strong. My fellow people, we no go wait for inherit world. We no go wait. Say they give you freedom on the platter of gold and silver. We go seize them. We go take them by force. For all youths them, we don't see their own families be slaughtered with their own face. They don't see their own being killed by La République, terrorist La République Cameroon. They don't give you now the reason to fight. They don't give you all the reason to defend ourselves. Some of our youth, when you've been a mechanism, now they work again. Some, they've been a teachers, don't give up their jobs them to become soldiers for inside Ambazonian. Even the ones them, when you've been a just family heads, they don't feel provide for their own families today because they need to work. We don't carry guns for over 7 years to defend our land. We don't depend on small tokens and gifts to sustain our war of independence. If we go succeed within the shortest time, then we need to create a means to mobilize enough resources. These resources then, when we don't mobilize them, we go use them to establish our own hospitals. We go use some part for expand our community schools there. Then we use some part to arm our forces there, to defend themselves, to defend our villages, and to defend our people. Now, because of this one, we will see it. We discuss a minimum amount of tax will be put up on our people to support our forces and to be our own institution there. We will help to send the enemy out within the shortest time. Any Ambazonian will not be teacher, will not be sick, will not be handicapped. We pay a minimum amount of 10 to 15,000 amber every year. That sacrifice, that amount, they go help we to overcome the difficulties with the presence of the Republic of Cameroon terrorist forces. Don't create them inside our land. We go call of every Ambazonian citizen in the days ahead, for any place when they inside the country, we beg them say they pay this amount. A receipt will be given as a proof for their sacrifice for our land, Ambazonian. We know say enemies there. Some they hide for the Republic of Cameroon, some they for diaspora. All these agents, when our leader he announced the creation of army to defend our land, they be attacker. They say we don't need army. The reason why Frontier they fail, now because we get army. The reason why John Front they fail, now because we get army. This agent they attack the idea, but when they realize the importance, they will jump into it. Try to destroy them. When we say no schools, they not be think of another alternative. Or how long we will keep our picking them for house.
Hail this land of glory, we the Ambazonian, special loyalty. Praises to our Savior who granted us the freedom. Our legends to the hero who called the lonely diablo. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of His nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our need, and your children shall be like indispensable. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.
We salute our Supreme Commander, the Liberation Authority on the ground, for say don't take the time for come out inside bush, for can join we inside studio, for talk with people them directly from ground zero. As we fit see am, for a commander for address the people them live, right from the territory, make it give you hope. Now number 6 year this, we're inside this war. For these forces, these heroes, for don't survive all the pressure and still stand to do the building institutions. Without institutions, now what we fit talk say we fight for. Now with the Supreme Commander as I don't hear, it don't come for I tell the Ambazonian people, say now it be official from the authority on the ground, because the whole reason why we fight now for give power back to the Ambazonian people them. The whole reason why we fight now for take power from Cameroon and give them back to the Ambazonian people them. We not give power if we not build the institutions for protect the independence and the freedom. We not just the fight. We not just the resist Cameroon. We don't come very far. For most of the places they did now under total Ambazonian control. They go now for build the institutions them as we don't dismantle and reject the colonial institutions. We must replace them with Ambazonian institutions. People are not fit just the fight and they talk every day. The AGovC not been a talking organization, now an action organization for implement the people their aspirations, for take what the people they want them and turn them for things and where the people they go feel them, for turn them into the tangible independence and freedom, and give our people them the power back. For do them, as the Supreme Commander don't talk them, every Ambazonian on the ground must fund the resistance with the sum of 10,000 for women and 15,000 for man picking them. Now 1 year. They're not talking about you will repay them every month. Your yearly liberation tax. Now 10,000 for women and 15,000 for man picking them. This money now for use them for start for build the Ambazonian institutions. Hospitals for our people them. Expand community schools for our children. Build more capacity and strengthen our defense forces them for protect the land and defend the sovereignty and the communities. This one a collective responsibility. We'll talk more about this. Make, as will be promised, say every Wednesday, when I get time, I would like to take question and provide clarity for people them. Make we answer. If you want call, I beg, I go apologize because we start late. We don't lost almost 45 minutes. The question and answer period is supposed to be 1 hour because we start very late. Based on the different places that we get them, the technician, or we work full time, we try to manage all these things them, we try to do our best to serve our people them. So because we don't lose a lot of time for even try to get to studio and connect, make sure say the Supreme Commander if we talk for this time, we don't lose a lot of time. We go only get about 15 more minutes for take questions. So when I fit send una question, then we will not take them today. When I send them for me for WhatsApp, when I just make them be very short, and then tomorrow when we talk with una, we'll fit continue for address some of the questions. But for now, I will take questions. The lines will be very open for any person you want to call. I'll take a couple of questions, provide public clarity. Some person be don't call on ground zero, make a call it back if you're online. All right. For YouTube, would you watch? Would you follow what you go on for YouTube? For YouTube, Comrade Pen for YouTube, Mr. Ndo. You don't talk say, Comrade ASU, can you tell us something about something concerning our fighters in Pinyin? Thank you, Comrade Ndo. We know say when I don't see some audios and where they circulate and some people that they make noise. Yes. The Ambazonian Defense Forces, leadership and central command for ground. The Ambazonian Governing Council don't monitor the ground as we do them all the time. Certain blocks, as the leader don't tell the Ambazonian people them, they don't be weak and they don't fall. The leader mentioned Bali, he mentioned Bafut. They don't be weak and they don't fall. And we realize and say, now the same thing that can happen for Pinyin. The general for the, because of sick, a soldier they don't scatter, bad people don't enter for inside, for start for exploit the population. La Republic, their agent, they don't come back for can help La Republic for take back control of Pinyin. So the Ambazonian Governing Council talks, say, look, we not fit leave them. These critical blocks, they fall and for leave them, make the enemy can't take over. So the ADF leadership is send ADF commanders for go meet up the population, meet up the soldiers, them, the one way they remain. Say, when I come, make all we go shit on, we see how we fit rebuild the defense infrastructures for Pinyin. Yes. So the commanders for Pinyin and the soldier, them where they remain, the small soldier they remain, they deal with ADF forces for them for work, how for put back Pinyin together. When the people them way, they no want, yes, say, would make progress. They want make things scatter and then they shit on quiet. Then the liberation collapse. So the noise when they hear for outside there, and the noise where they come up from people the way they no one fix matter. They no one solve the problems on the ground and for help ground zero make source. That's why when they hear all this noise about ADF don't do this, ADF no one do nothing. ADF no one make any block fall. Because if Bafut fall, La Republic take over Bafut, now who the loss? Ambazonian the loss, La Republic the win. Now not been an ADF matter. Now an Ambazonian problem. If Bali fall, La Republic can re-establish itself for Bali. Now Ambazonian the loss, La Republic the win. Not been an ADF problem, now an Ambazonian problem. While all the rest, they not care, they need to pay attention, they need to know what is going on the ground. The AGovC need to sleep. Because AGovC create the roadmap for the liberation, so it monitor when places they be very weak. And it get a responsibility for make sure say the places they will be weak, AGovC do whatever humanly possible if you do them, for make those places they come back strong. At the step this way, the AGovC, it take them for Pinyin. So the AGovC, it don't need any person permission for do what's right for Ambazonia. The Ambazonian Governing Council, it no go ask some person for permission for do what's right for Ambazonia. When those people, they not care whether the liberation is succeed or it fail. So you know if you go ask a permission for person who not care about something, he own only for can make noise. Who said these people they be there when Bali be the fall? When Bali be weak? Who said the day when Bafut be weak and Bafut the fall? When I don't ever hear about them, they don't come for outside. Can't tell when I say we don't notice and say Bafut the fall, Bafut the be weak, and we say like the Republic they creep back in. Now our solution this will get them for Bafut. Now our solution this will get them for Bali. When I don't hear from them, and they will claim saying that their forces where they don't get any hand with those forces. Now all those blocks they be very weak. The moment AGovC step in for re-establish and make those forces they begin to work fine and make things they go fine. You know, they hear all these noise makers, they will start to show their ugly heads for outside. Now wait till they happen that for opinion. The AGovC go help the forces for Pinyin, the forces for Bali, the forces for Bafut, and for every other block for Ambazonian, we don't become very weak for re-establish and defend that block for safe deliberation and for keep on for make Ambazonia our defenses may be very strong. I hope say I don't provide when I would that clarity. All right, who two don't call we? All right, make we see if they don't come back. The lines will be open for any person we want call. So when I call, we still get about 10 more minutes.
Hello.
My brother, we salute you now. Good evening.
Good evening, bro.
All right. Now you there on call right now. All man, the hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead for ask your question and make the question very short so that we get time for give you answers.
The question was I want to ask and say why the atmosphere between members, a bit of a member of the AGovC and this the resonated member Capo Daniel be the relationship be like a infighting. Why it be so and no free manage differences or the why it be so why? Now just the question that I will ask him.
All right. Thank you very much for the question. We appreciate your question as you don't, and we all have the responsibility for answer our questions. Capo Daniel don't do his best when the leader be trusty for do his best, and he don't serve to our people. I don't know Capo Daniel as a brother and as a friend since 2016. We meet up for this liberation struggle. I not be knowing. Or we be start for activism them for 2016 and we'll come meet up for this liberation struggle. We'll become friends. And all we be create our own platforms. I be create my platform they call on Southern Cameroon's leadership strategy. It create the platform of the No Connie Talk Show. And all we build our reputation by the various things that we do. Until the governing council, you can see our hard work. And he appoint we for different positions. My goal from my own background, my goal now for build the brand of the AGovC and the brand of the leadership. Because now my background that. My goal now for attract Ambazonians, quality Ambazonians, into this beautiful vision. Capo Daniel goal now for come off outside talk. And we do both. I provide and continuously since 2016 till now. There is no other platform where they don't create them. we don't provide the kind quality of deep education in terms of knowledge and charisma, pass what we don't present them. We will need to just talk. Would it provide deep education where it will give you a sense of inspiration and empowerment? So I need to come out every day, just talk. I not come from that class. I come from a rich corporate background till today. So I don't know Capo since 2016. Till now, we don't become good friends and brothers. For 2 years, we don't work for the AGovC. We know each other very well. Capo Daniel, in resignation, not get anything to do with the AGovC. Capo Daniel, in resignation, get everything to do with Capo Daniel, his own selfish interest, where he want gain them from the liberation. He not get anything to do with AGovC. Capo Daniel not get any fundamental difference with the AGovC, where they not be fit for resolver. Capo Daniel don't, just like most Ambazonians, when there not be anything, an organization don't help you, you develop a level of exposure. They start for develop a syndrome, a power-drunken syndrome. Yeah, Capo Daniel talk. Me, I be this, I be that, I be this, I be that, I be this. Now me, I do this, now me, I do that. It's a power-drunken syndrome, and you know how to come off with it. Within an organization, when you do for an organization, you function within a certain conduct. And most Ambazonians, they don't like to be guided. They like to just run them up anyhow. And not fit come out and talk anyhow. Because I represent the hopes, the dreams of the Ambazonian people them. When they send me for meeting, I must go now for fulfill the mission of the organization and the people them. Not be for my own interest. So over time, Dr. Chowan built the next generation of greatness in terms of Ambazonian leadership. And Capo Daniel become one of those young men them, including myself, with Dr. Chowan mold and build them for lead and run the AGovC as future leaders. But my brother Capo Daniel, he lacked the patience for grooming. He want everything right now. Everything fast. He don't like to follow organizational rules. So when they send you for mission, you go for mission, there's a code of conduct. He misbehave for mission the way they send you. The things the way we're not supposed to do, he go do them. And from tomorrow, I go start for release audios. 1 month ago, before I resign, when I go hear raw conversation, we will not change nothing, we will not talk nothing. Now just we will call it for order and try for advice as friends and as brothers. We get all of those audios. It not be meant for the public, but it not fine when a young man like Capo, he don't leave such a reputable organization, then it become a spoiler for attack the organization. All what he don't work for, now he go turn now, the twist the talk. Just for gain small YouTube likes. For make sure say people they go watch it for YouTube and then so that he make money for YouTube. ASU Lucas need to make money for YouTube. My YouTube channel not be monetized. It won't be monetized. So the reason why they talk every day like a parrot, now for get views and for make money from YouTube. I don't make money from YouTube. I work very hard for creating my own lifestyle. Last month, I contribute $700 to the defense of Ambazonia. Now Capo Daniel be the problem of Capo Daniel. And now Capo Daniel will be the downfall of Capo Daniel. Now I sabi, now I know, as I don't tell you, and when I listen, it will be very clear. Capo Daniel carry hand, go chook him for some place. We change it. Secondly, Capo Daniel become very corrupt within the AGovC. Capo become very corrupt. So in make him, when the organization one confront you with certain things and way it don't do them, instead for you for acknowledge your errors, it start for fight everybody. And it start for threaten say, I leave the organization, I leave the organization. Just for run away from the problem, instead for address the problem and see how the organization, if he help you, for stop the infiltration at the highest level of leadership. Now Capo be Capo a problem. Not be AGovC. Just like most Ambazonians, they don't like for follow a code of conduct, for succeed. They want them now. They want them now. So that's why be out there, they run him up out there like a parrot on a daily basis without any control. Because within the organization, you must get a level of control and a level of guidance. You know, the leaders, they need to talk anyhow. Now, it cause the infighting, not be AGovC. If you leave and you want to go focus or do something, you say you get dark forces. It don't be 1 month now. Now we don't see the dark forces. All the noise. Everyday noise. Everyday noise. Everyday noise. You get dark forces. But you, who you get dark forces, you be outside. Now the fool who? Because Ambazonian, they know say Ambazonian, they be gullible and they will listen for everything. They go begin to call my name. Me and you know they for the same standard of class and performance. I be a different beast. I be don't put before he want to resign, 2 days before he resign, I give you advice. Say get the choice for conduct himself as a great patriot or nationalist, or get a choice. Say I still don't resign. For place where don't go put your hand there, for say he too must be leader for the liberation. And he too must attend negotiation for himself as Capo Daniel, so that may get the benefits of traveling and the benefits of collecting small money for Ambazonian and then for back for the purposes of corruption. I still don't resign. If you want to be a close, if you want to be the new spoiler for the liberation, now a choice. I be give you that advice, and some of you listen to the audio. When I go hear a lot of the advice they want to give this young man, when my friend. When I go hear a lot of the advice I give, I want to hear some kind of silly, small excuse and way they make them. But just because their intention be already be formed, that they want some kind of benefit, then they know say when they stay for AGovC, they need to fit inside. If they need to follow rules and they need to follow for be guided and for be corrected, they know say they no go stay inside. So they go want for run for go outside, may they go be their own Nioga since the liberation and an opportunity for everybody. We'll talk on that tomorrow. I beg, I'll be very sorry if my tone changed small, because some of these things they make would waste so much time and would lost a lot of time for come here can begin to address all these things, and when now not time for serious work for our people then. All right, it'd be very unfortunate. Say a young man like that would act like that, very reckless, without any standard, and just run him up for it. I hear like say they talk say, he take me under his wings. He Capo Daniel get wings for take Lucas has under his wings. He get wings for take me under his wings. Leaders don't speak anyhow. Anyway, my brother will provide now more information. When I tell you I be a different type of a beast, if you try, I may go sink. Now get a good night.